Hello everyone, welcome to Xur week number 3. He is on IO in a little cave area. We're gonna just take a quick trip over there, show you guys the route real quick, because some people are like, I don't know how to get to him. So he's just right underneath, and he's gonna be in this cave right over here, off to the left. And just scoot right in. Please stop shooting me. Thank you very much. Over here. And he's right here.
The Nine wish you to be their champion, Titan.
Oh, that's very interesting, Xur.
The Nine see your valor.
Alright. The weapon of the week is Risk Runner. Risk Runner is a pretty good submachine gun at 900 RPM. I know I personally like the 600 RPM submachine guns a little bit more, but this is still fine. On its own, without the buff procced, I don't think the gun is anything stellar. There are definitely some other submachine guns out there that I like using, but when the perk is procced, that is when this thing goes insane. 6 seconds of non-stop shooting where kills refresh the buff. The rule of thumb here is going to be, if you're in an activity where you're going to be hit with arc damage somewhat consistently, this thing gains a significant boost in power and should gain significant consideration in your loadout. Then, if you're a Warlock, you can go Voidwalker with Devour and just walk up to giant mobs of enemies and never die while firing your gun nonstop. Pretty insane. I do think this is more of a niche weapon, though, specifically for those kinds of activities where you can really take advantage of the perk. If you're getting sniped at from super far, obviously it's not gonna, work out too well. It's not gonna work in everything. Solo stuff, where there's gonna be a little bit of downtime between engagements, it's maybe not as valuable. I'd probably opt for something else. But in the right conditions, this thing is very, very powerful. In PvP, I don't feel like the perk has as much of an impact as it does in PvE. Sure, can definitely help you secure some kills that you might not have otherwise gotten without the perk procced, but I don't think it's a must-buy for PvP. But for PvE, highly, highly consider having it around for any activities where you're going to be slapped around with a bunch of arc damage. Hunters, you are getting Mechaneer's Trick Sleeves. Pretty self-explanatory perk here. Increases sidearm ready and reload speeds. Well, if you're really into sidearms, or otherwise are a sidearm enthusiast, these are the gloves for you. If you're not using a sidearm, then just no. Just don't wear them. Can't really make that any clearer. There are definitely some good sidearms in the game. I can see these being used by those people who really love sidearms, and if you stack double sidearms, yeah, you're going to be pretty range limited, but you are going to dominate in the sidearm range specifically. In PvE, I don't think you're giving up Celestial Nighthawk, Raiden Flux, or Orpheus Rig in favor of these, unless you're doing something really, really, really specific. Again, PvP, self-explanatory. Titans, you are getting Hallow Fire Heart. This chest piece gives you the Simmering Flames buff of Destiny 1, where your ability cooldowns are greatly sped up when you have a charged super. Well, for the Nightfall in this week in particular, this chest is really insane because you get Thermite Grenades back even faster than you normally would with the Torrent buff. I've heard very good things about it. Super fun. Outside of that case, this is the only Sunbreaker-specific exotic in the game for Titans. So if you're a Sunbreaker and you want an exotic that focuses specifically on your subclass, this is it. This is all you got. Okay? This is it. There are some good neutral Titan exotics out there as well. My issue is not with the exotic itself. It's more with Sunbreaker, the subclass, in that it doesn't really feel super strong at the moment. It's not bad or anything, but it doesn't feel very strong. That could also be me just not playing on Sunbreaker as much as I could be to maybe try it out a little bit more, but the times I did, it didn't feel compelling. But that's also maybe because it feels too similar to Destiny 1 Sunbreaker. I don't know. The perk itself, having to hang on to your super to see a benefit, kind of sucks a little bit. Destiny 1, it was good because cooldowns were really short. In Destiny 2, they're not as short. They go down to about 25 seconds. Your grenade goes down to 25 seconds without any mods. It's not that short, but it's not too bad of a wait either, especially if you set up your armor very specifically with mods to reduce your cooldowns even more. I think this is still going to be a buy from me, especially if you like using Sunbreaker at all. But I think the issue is mainly that people aren't playing a ton of Sunbreaker, not that this chest armor is bad. Siegebreaker, by the way, the Siegebreaker block of perks is going to be the one to pick, in my opinion, since the top option has 2 perks revolving around your super. But then again, it does have tempered metal, and that's not bad with this armor. I'd still probably go Siegebreaker. Warlocks, you are getting Transversive Steps. Only took a completely new game launch to see them again, but they are back. Main perk gives you increased movement speed when sprinting, and your energy weapons are automatically reloaded. So they took the Destiny 1 version of the perk, where your weapons reload on ammo pickup, to now it's just energy weapons reload. I think these are going to be much more of a PvP pick than a PvE one. These apparently also have some hidden perks as well, like otherwise improving your overall movement. I think I've heard somewhere that they can affect slide distance as well. The big thing about the auto reload is that it's not instant. You can see here that it takes a little while to fully reload a magazine. About, what was that, 14 seconds or so, which is not thrilling, but if it was instant speed, that might be a little too strong. I wouldn't mind seeing that bumped up a tad bit. In PvE, specifically in group play, I think I'm probably going to stick with Lunafactions for that Rift reload. I think it's a really nice buff to have. But then again, in small group play like strikes or heroic event farming, Lunafactions aren't super vital to the experience. But then again, I don't really know how much Transversive Steps are either. I'm not sure how much your movement speed is actually increased, and with that auto reload not being super fast, I don't know how hot I am on them at the moment. I haven't gotten to use them as much as I would have liked to just yet, so it's tough to give a more solid opinion on them. Me personally, I think I'd rather use a more focused exotic, something that does something related to my subclasses, specifically Warlocks, because Warlocks have, I think, some pretty good ability-based or subclass-based exotics. Anyway, that is... Hang on, I messed that up. There we go. That is Xur week number 3. Not as stellar of a week compared to the first 2, but that's okay. It's going to happen. Calus DPS video is nearing completion. Just a few more tests to run before I can start coming to some real conclusions here. Hopefully we'll have that out over the weekend, if not on Monday. I have some thoughts on guided games coming very soon as well. Also, hopefully out over the weekend, probably coming out before the Calus DPS video since it's just a commentary. Otherwise, after the Calus video, probably going to start taking closer looks at exotics and stuff, since I've basically not talked about exotics at all since launch, and that's kind of not good for the channel. Kind of got to start talking about exotics there. So yeah, we're going to get to that. But I'm off to bed. Thank you all very much for watching. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you all next time.